So after Elijah and Simon were killed, we're gonna see the funeral of Elijah, and no doubt fury from Walter Flynn after he hears about what happened to Simon. So relationships are gonna be tense with the CBI and the Flynn family, especially with Jannard and Diamond, because we all know Jannard isn't gonna let this one go, and now he's gonna be using D-Mac to try and strike Tommy. But is this the moment where D-Mac finally realizes who Tommy really is? Because they've definitely been building up secrets and secrets as each episode ticks by, and there has to be a big reveal at some point. But coming to the Flynn family, they've got major issues with law enforcement, and they're going to be targeting a potential weak link in the Flynn family organization, and that's Uncle Paulie. But elsewhere, there's going to be a lot of action because we're going to see a drive-by shootout, Gloria firing shots, and as one of the promo images show us, Claudia's not playing games either. So we're going to run through all the promo images, exclusive clips, and the synopsis as usual. But let's start with the synopsis for This Is Who We Are, and it reads, Tommy and his new business partner recruit soldiers to take over the drug game in Chicago. Tommy finds a lucrative location for distribution that doesn't fit with his partner's vision and for a more upscale clientele. So let's start with Tommy working with Claudia, because after Tommy got a taste of Claudia's drug in episode 5, we saw him looking like this, and he knew that this was the new high that he needed. And we saw Claudia reaching out to Tommy because she's got the product, but she doesn't have the infrastructure or organization to move this new drug Dahlia like Tommy does, because this is all new to Claudia, whereas Tommy's got the experience in building an organization from scratch. Now, we've seen this before from Tommy when he taught Milan how to move his pills, so we're gonna see them recruiting some new soldiers to take over the drug game in Chicago, and Tommy's been doing this ever since he got here. So we're gonna see Tommy introducing Claudia to Liliana, and it does seem like they're all gonna be working together on some sort of mission. And we've also seen Tommy recruiting others like Barbito, Dominguez, and who knows, maybe 2-Bit as well at some point before the season finishes, because 2-Bit has been teased heavily over the past week. But I will leave the link to this video that I made on a 2-Bit theory down below in the description and comment section. But back to Tommy, Claudia, and Liliana, and this exclusive clip that was released earlier on in the week, and this was Tommy paying tribute to Ghost in his suit, where he tells Claudia that back in the day, his old partner used to wear these custom suits every day. And I do wonder if Claudia and Tommy are going to strike up a relationship, because it does seem like Gloria is off the table, for now anyway. But Tommy is definitely showing a different side to him. He's unleashing his inner Ghost and using everything that he learned from him. And he also knows the mistakes that Ghost made, for example getting close to Angela. So I don't think we're going to see Tommy falling for anyone anytime soon, whether it be Gloria, Claude, or anyone else. But maybe we'll see him having a bit of fun like he did with Gloria, and also because Lakeisha is still fresh in his mind. And it does seem like he's strictly business, because he knows that he needs to get his organization up and running, and he's already had issues with Rojas's men and the Serbs. But sticking with Claudia, we're also going to see her with a gun in hand, sticking it in the direction of someone who we can't see. And I really do think we're in for a bit of a dark turn after she killed Mai, because it does seem like she was definitely her first kill, from Claude's reaction anyway. So let's see how this impacts Claude on a personal level, because we all know it pushed her in the direction of Tommy on a business level, and she also found out that Walter Flynn is sick, because Gloria mentioned this to her when she came to her bar to strong armor, and this was kept a secret by Vic and Walter Flynn. So I assume at some point she's either going to question Vic if he knew, or Walter Flynn himself, and then we really are going to be in for a power struggle between the two siblings to take over the family business, just like Uncle Paulie said. But sticking with the Flynns, they've got more issues than one, because we're going to see the Flynn family being raided by the police, and they've been watched ever since episode 3 by Officer Vargas and Officer Kayla. And with Claudia and Vic trying to build their own organizations, this is the last thing that Walter Flynn needs, on top of him being sick. But the Flynn family definitely have their shit tight and locked up, because they've got Claude doing the books. So they know the only way to target the Flynn family is through a weak link, and that could very well be Uncle Paulie. So we're gonna see Vargas and Officer Kayla targeting Uncle Paulie, but let's see how loyal he is, because this is gonna be the real first test. Now, they also had eyes on Tommy very briefly when they took a few snaps of him in episode 3, but nobody knows who Tommy is in Chicago, apart from a few people that he's been interacting with, which are the Flynns, the CBI, Liliana, and the Serbs. So apart from them, he's supposed to be dead. So I do wonder if anything will come from Tommy being snapped by law enforcement, because Blanca Rodriguez was listed by IMDb for the season finale, but again, we really do need to take that with a pinch of salt, because it isn't always accurate. but definitely something to keep in the back of our minds, because if law enforcement are sniffing around the Flynns, then who's to say they won't start digging into Tommy as well. So definitely one to keep an eye on, and something they could use to have a crossover with Power Book 2 Ghost. But let's talk about Vic Flynn and Gloria next, because we saw Vic Flynn keeping his promise to Gloria when he told her that all he needs was time to get out from under Walter's thumb and prove to her that he's his own man. And now with Tommy pulling him up, he's definitely on his way. And he even told Walter Flynn, don't be so confident that I'll pick you over Gloria. And that was because he was trying to force Gloria's hand by releasing her from her debt with the Flynns, but only if she left Vic. She was also given the deeds to the 2.5 million worth of land by Claudia, but again, only if she left Vic. And you can tell she's definitely considering it, but is her love for Vic too strong to be strung on by the Flynns? Uncle Paulie said you can control some things with these kids, but love is something you can't. And I'm sure we all agree that no amount of money or bribery can buy love. And I do think Gloria has shown us that she's someone who can hold it down against the Flynns, so I'm really not sure that she's someone who's gonna take this deal. We're even gonna see her unleashing some gunfire on someone, which may well be this drive-by shootout, so Gloria's definitely gonna be in the action in episode 6. But let's move on and talk all things Diamond, Jenard, Tommy, and the whole CBI business, because last week we saw Elijah's death, so we're gonna see the aftermath, which is his funeral, and this one is definitely gonna hurt Jenard because he was his right-hand man. So it definitely will contribute towards a turning point for Jenard's character and his relationship with Diamond, but all Jenard has ever wanted is his respect and to be treated as an equal, especially for all those years that he put into the CBI, and also for what he sacrificed, which was college. So let's see how the dynamics now shift and change between the brothers, not just because of Elijah's death, but because of how Jenard was the one who did the drive-by with Tommy and the Serbs where he hit Liliana. So I'm sure Tommy will question if it was any of them who did the drive-by. So let's see if this is brought up in the conversation between them and if Jenard is honest. But let's talk about D-Mac next, because where Jenard lost his soldier in Elijah, he's gonna turn to one of his younger soldiers in D-Mac and he's gonna ask him to follow Tommy. And this is where we see D-Mac. Now, from what we've seen from D-Mac so far, he's someone who isn't afraid to hold it down for Jenard and the CBI. We saw him putting a gun to Tommy in episode 2, and then we only saw him taking orders from Jenard, not Diamond. We also saw him shooting up JP's bar, knowing that it was his father's, as well as coming face to face with him where he saved him from Marshall. So even though he'll be working for Jenard, is this the episode where more truths and secrets are revealed? Because there has been a constant theme every week, and it does seem like D-Mac is going to be involved more in the second half of this season. So I do think it is only a matter of time before he realizes who Tommy is, especially because he knows that JP is his father. For example, D-Mac may even come across Tommy and JP talking about family, and this is where it may click to him who Tommy really is. So if Jenard is still plotting to get rid of Tommy, then I think he's gonna have to reevaluate his position, because he's now lost Elijah, and as soon as D-Mac realizes that Tommy is his uncle and he's the real boss who's making shit happen in Chicago, he's gonna quickly turn to him as more of a mentor and father figure. So I definitely think this whole storyline with D-Mac, Tommy, and JP is one to watch this week, especially with what we saw in the trailer, with how JP is gonna question Tommy and ask him for the real truth about who he is. So we're gonna hear Tommy telling him that he's a drug dealer, but Tommy's in the dark about his past as much as JP is, and the answers that he's looking for, only Egan can answer. So let's see what they build up with this storyline as well. But that's a preview of episode 6, so drop all your thoughts and predictions down below for episode 6, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.